Hello there, Star Wars fans. Welcome back to the channel, and thank you for tuning in to your favorite intergalactic frequency.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy. But peace is a fragile illusion, and while the Jedi basked in the light, the darkness was preparing its return. This is the story of the Sith's Grand Plan, a plan forged in secrecy, nurtured through manipulation, and executed with terrifying precision. It's the ultimate tale of political subversion, psychological warfare, and the triumph of patience over arrogance. And it all began with one man, Darth Bane. According to legends, 1,000 years before the Clone Wars, the Sith nearly destroyed themselves in a massive civil war. Their obsession with power led to infighting, betrayal, and near extinction. From the ashes rose Darth Bane, the last surviving Sith, the adopter and architect of a radical idea, the rule of two, one to embody the power, the other to crave it. Under this rule, only two Sith would exist at a time, a master and an apprentice. No armies, no rival warlords, just secrecy, cunning, and absolute control. This wasn't just about survival, it was about preparation. The Sith would retreat into the shadows, not to hide, but to plan. The quote from Labyrinth of Evil describes it perfectly. Analogous to introducing a covert malignancy to the body politic of the Republic. The Sith didn't need to attack the Republic head-on. Instead, they infected it, slowly, silently, like a cancer. For generations, each Sith master passed down the dark knowledge to their apprentice. They studied politics, economics, psychology, magic, war, and every opportunity, every crack in the Republic's armor was exploited. They didn't just wait for weakness, they created it, facilitating war, murder, corruption, injustice, and avarice. The Sith nurtured chaos wherever it could be found. War was a tool, greed was a weapon. They empowered criminals, stoked political divisions, and undermined institutions, all without exposing themselves. This wasn't a plan that could be executed in 10 years or even 100. It was a millennium-long operation of strategic rot. Ironically, part of the Sith's strategy was allowing the Jedi to grow stronger. Why? Because they understood that power breeds blindness. Let them be placed on a pedestal. Let them grow soft and set in their ways. The Sith wanted the Jedi to become symbols of order and righteousness, icons that would inevitably fail under their own weight. The more revered the Jedi became, the more complacent they would grow, and the more blind they would be to the darkness rising all around them. The Jedi focused outward, maintaining the galaxy. They trained generations of warriors. They built towering temples. They debated in councils, but they stopped looking inward. They forgot that good and evil coexist, and they forgot that darkness does not always scream. Sometimes it whispers.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
Not all Jedi were blind, though. None perhaps more than aged Yoda. Yoda sensed the drift toward darkness long before the Clone Wars ever began. But even he, one of the wisest beings in the galaxy, was not immune to the limitations of the Jedi Order. He saw the symptoms of decay, but not the root. Like a doctor trying to treat a disease without a diagnosis, the Jedi tried to contain the darkness, rather than confront its true cause. That mistake would cost them everything. Count Dooku, another Jedi who saw the coming darkness years before, sought to extinguish as well, but eventually found himself within its clutches before he realized it was too late, turning into the thing he swore to destroy, as well as being a catalyst to help further accelerate the Sith's Grand Plan to its fated success. The Jedi Council, a group of powerful, intelligent masters, still missed it all. They were enslaved to the inevitability of that drift. The Sith exploited their reliance on tradition. The Council believed that balance could only be restored through prophecy, through the Chosen One. This wasn't just short-sighted, it was fatal. The Jedi believed they were the ones who would recognize the Chosen One when he arrived. They believed they would guide him, but the prophecy became their crutch, a reason not to act, not to adapt. They mistook their authority for wisdom, and so, when the Sith finally struck, the Jedi never saw it coming. Enter Darth Sidious, the culmination of 1,000 years of Sith planning, as by design of the rule of two, each Sith Lord being stronger than the last and having all the knowledge of those before him. And Darth Sidious truly was a standout among those in the line of Bane, a Sith Lord who did what others could not. He didn't just hide in the shadows, he walked among the Jedi as Chancellor Palpatine. He turned their every strength into a weakness. He used the war to cloud their vision. He used Anakin Skywalker to divide them. He even used the prophecy to manipulate their decisions. Sidious orchestrated both sides of the Clone Wars, leading the Republic by day and the Separatists by night. And when the time came, he executed Order 66, wiping out the Jedi in a single stroke. It wasn't brute force that defeated the Jedi. It was arrogance, complacency, and the Sith's ability to play the long game. Such was the danger of prophecy. This final line from the quote might be the most important. The Jedi believed that prophecy would save them, but the prophecy didn't care about them. It only cared about balance. In trusting the prophecy, the Jedi handed their fate to the very thing they didn't understand. And it was Anakin, the chosen one, who became their destroyer. The Sith's grand plan worked. The Republic fell. The Jedi were nearly extinct, and the Sith ruled the galaxy under the Empire. But here's the twist. It was still the chosen one who restored balance. Not as a Jedi, not as a hero, but as Darth Vader, and eventually as a father who would choose love over hate. Palpatine's plan succeeded, but only temporarily, because in the end the darkness he unleashed carried the seeds of his own destruction. The Force may go out of balance, but it always finds a way to restore itself. The information in this video stems from a description of the Sith's Grand Plan in the Legends novel Labyrinth of Evil, which takes place right before the events in Episode 3. Here the novel gives us great insight into how the Sith have manipulated the Jedi and the Republic to set the stage for their success. Thanks for watching, and what do you think about the Sith's Grand Plan? Did the Jedi deserve their fall? Was Yoda too passive? Was the prophecy a gift or a curse? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Star Wars deep dives. And remember, in the galaxy far, far away, the darkness doesn't scream, it whispers.